Hello fellow YouTubers, Troubl8385 and welcome to YouTube Gaming Community 77, the much belated and late YouTube Gaming Community 77. One of those weeks where you have a lot of rainstorms and you have a child and he goes to bed late every night and you ain't getting nothing done. More or less, that's how the week went. And then by the time I got to Saturday, I'm like, you know what, we're just going to wait till Monday, get it all together and go. Now, for those of you out there who may have seen it on Twitter or Facebook or the bulletin on this channel, this show is going to once a week. Call it a summer vacation in a sense, because I have a lot of projects to get done around the house. Like, half of my garage is still full of stuff from my father when he passed away a year and a half ago that I need to go through and get done. The game room slash action figure room, whatever you want to call it, need to get that, working on that and get that done. And a lot of other projects that need to get done, so cutting back to get that stuff done. Not only that, but I have not been watching all my friends' videos and counting them lately, and I'd like to get back to doing that too. So that means a lot to me, so I want to get that done also. And hey, look at the bright side. With the video being up longer, maybe more people watch it, comment to it, and we can get more mix of people in it, and it gives me more time to find videos and channels to check out and answer messages and stuff like that. I will tell you, with this show only being once a week, this show is guaranteed to be 15 minutes long, because I will be having more videos to shout out and channels to check out. So, and people in the past have commented how they can't watch it twice a week, so and help them out. So let's get to the topic of the day. It is from the Green Monkey King. And he said, "Hey Trouble, I got a topic for a friendly opinion poll that might be of interest. When it comes to a fighting, flight, and driving games, do you prefer the convenience of small controllers, or do you seek out the big, ginormous specialty controllers, such as steering wheels and flight sticks, and of course the mega fighting sticks? For me, I like the big specialty controllers, and an arcade fighter stick is almost a requirement. But I find myself using a small compact controller as a necessary evil, even to the point of learning to use them just because they are so convenient to store and pull out as needed. I like to hear the public opinion, so leave your comment to this question below." Now, my answer to this is simple. I use a basic controller. I don't have an arcade stick, I don't have a steering wheel, and I don't have a flight stick. Now, I would like to get an arcade stick down the road, but I don't need a steering or flight stick. For me, usually I'm fine with the controller. I don't have a lot of room. That's why I don't have Rock Band 3. So I don't have Guitar Hero or Tony Hawk Ride, any of that stuff that has a bunch of things that are going to take up a lot of room. Though I usually do pretty good just using, honestly, just using a regular controller. Like the new Mortal Kombat. I just beat the story mode in this game yesterday. I'm not going to tell any spoilers about it. It's just going to be interesting to see where they go after the way the story mode ends. But, so, I just picked this up today along with the game, long box game behind me, ironically after I just did a pickup video. But in this strategy guide, by the way, they tell you the history of Mortal Kombat 1 through 4, and then they kind of have like a real quick note of the games after that, which is kind of funny. Because this game takes place after Mortal Kombat. The story mode takes place for Mortal Kombat 1 through 4, so you do fight certain characters more than once. So anyway, let's get to comments from YouTube Gaming Community 76 about your most memorable moments from Mortal Kombat series. And the first one is by Matt WIDAU. Mortal Kombat 2 on the Super Nintendo is the only Mortal Kombat game I own. The ingrained memory of it was being freaked out as a kid by the toasty thing popping up. The first time it happened, I jumped up and switched off the Super Nintendo and didn't play the game for several years. Certainly won't be getting the new one. It is banned here in Australia, and customs are supposedly on the lookout for imports. Which the new one does have toasty in it, and I don't understand Australia, quite honestly. I would never live there, because it's just ironic. They'll ban that game, but there are games far worse that they're letting through the door. Next up is, trying to pronounce it right, Cherubic Wendigo. My brother and me played Mortal Kombat 3 for the first time at a friend's house, and for the rest of the day we kept saying, "Mortal Wombat!" I'm sure we were really cute, but back then that was probably the first time I felt like a badass. Next up, Neo Flynn. My Mortal Kombat moment would be when Mortal Kombat 2 came out for the home consoles. I had reserved it at Software ECT, and when I went to pick it up, they wouldn't let me buy it because it was M-rated. I was like, so I can reserve it, but I can't buy it. WTF. LOL. So I went back with my brother and had him buy it for me. Which is funny. Hey, I can reserve it, but I can't buy it. Next up is Gambinofold. My Mortal Kombat moment is just the feeling of standing around a Mortal Kombat cabinet in the arcade, watching people play and waiting in line to challenge the winner. I miss those days. You know, it's funny because back in those days, those you never were around during the arcade period, you would stand in line, put your quarters on the machine if you were next, wait to whoever won to challenge the next guy. And back in those days, it's funny because everybody who played the fighting games thought they could beat anybody. And the guy who was playing somebody, especially if he was playing somebody who wasn't good, he would usually play with the character sometimes that he didn't play very often and wasn't good at, to make you think he wasn't good at it. And then when you stepped up and he thought you were good, he would switch to his character he was good at and just obliterate you. So anyway, the next one is from KidFridge80. My most memorable moment of Mortal Kombat is being completely pissed that the Super Nintendo version of the first Mortal Kombat did not have blood. You know, it's funny because that didn't bother me or take away the gameplay from me. As a teenager, I didn't understand why they did that. Ironically, today, looking at games, it's kind of funny they did that back then. By the way, KidFridge80, I will be working on your topic you suggested, which would be me recommending channels from particular areas of the world. And it wouldn't be one episode, it'd probably have to be multiple episodes where I just do a certain country. So I will be working on that. Next up, The Stig. My most memorable Mortal Kombat moment is when I first got Mortal Kombat 1 on the Mega Drive. Shortly after the restate, I was totally blown away by it, and I played it constantly for months. LOL, it's still my favorite Mortal Kombat game. That's what I was, by the way, with Mortal Kombat 2. Actually, leading up to the release of the new one, I was actually hooking, my Super Nintendo was hooked up, and I just kept playing Mortal Kombat 2 every other night for a little bit. So, let's get to videos to check out. The first one is by Crow111, Giraffe Clock Tick-Tock Tag. Now, in this tag, he talks about something strange happened to him with the giraffe clock, and he tagged all the previous people who had been in possession of it, and anybody who wanted to answer it about this thing. Just to check it out. Next up is NHKBlackStar, my game room tour, if you like a game room tour. Next up is Picadoagamer Troubl8385 I have a request to ask of you video, which he also sent me a message before he actually posted the video. And I also must thank LMA187, I'll put him at the channels to check out below, for also sharing this video with me. So his was, hey Troubl8385, I made a video about you called Troubl8385 I have a request to ask you. It's nothing bad, I'm just asking your help. If you could tell the gaming community to see the Fires Union I'm trying to build. It's pretty much I'm trying to get the gaming community on YouTube to play with me on the PlayStation Network and record the online match and upload and shout them out and keep the viewers entertained. So in a way, it's a shout out project I'm trying to do for the YouTube gaming community, and Chuck recommended on asking you for the help since a lot of gamers watch your videos and that you may be able to help me. The video is not up yet, but when it is, I will send you a link to watch it to get a better understanding of what I'm trying to do. So, if you read this and help me, thank you very much. I'm really excited about getting the gaming community and YouTube to be involved with this. And if not, well, still thank you for reading the message. P.S. I forgot to, if you do, I only do PlayStation videos because I do not own Xbox 360. But anyone is welcome to contact me if you want to upload videos for the 360 community. Now, it's kind of ironic I got this video considering PlayStation Network went down this week, as we all know. And it's funny in my situation because my wife, when my son goes to bed, or actually my son and my wife, during the day sometimes we'll watch TV, so we'll pop on one of his favorite, Tom's the Train or whatever, Netflix movies, and my wife watches a lot of Netflix. And when the actual PS went on, she wasn't mad. She could still play a game because they are all started and played and it was updated before. Unlike some people who got Mortal Kombat who had to update the PlayStation Network to play it and they couldn't do it. But she watched a lot of Netflix and she was upset that she couldn't actually watch Netflix. But she was upset at PlayStation because PlayStation's in a no-win situation, right? If they didn't shut down the network to find out with hacking that everybody's assuming going on, then people would say, why aren't you shutting it down to fix the problem? And if they shut it down, people aren't happy that they shut it down. So Sony can't win. Anyway, next up is Jill Pooh 3's Nintendo Junkie Tuesday, final episode, part 2. Very cool way he did it, and very cool way how he ended the series. It's really cool if you have not checked it out. It's ironically very fitting the way he ended it. Next up, Amisbro, YouTube Glitch Patrol, April 2K11, subbed or unsubbed? That is the question. In this video, he talks about simply something that, you notice over time, where either their videos don't show up in your subscription box, or you're subbed to them, but even though you are, it says you're subbed. YouTube, when you go to your sub box, they're not there. It talks about that in the video, and a glitch that you think, well, what's the big deal about that? The truth is, most people who are subbed to people, if they don't see the video, they don't most of the time go actually looking for the channel to watch the video. So it hurts that person's being viewed, because let's be honest, the sub box makes it easier for people to be lazy. And most people aren't going to go out of their way to try to find if you have a new video. Next up, GameStraight81's N64 glove review. If you've never seen the N64 glove, check that video out. Next up is 911 Bones, My Gaming Past, the Halo series. Halo's been around for 10 years, and he goes over his experience of the Halo series. Next up is Ivankaiser Geek Room collection of video game in France. If you want to see, is really cool. He has a lot of video game figures, not just video games in his collection. And a video I was actually told him I would shout out last week, which I didn't, which is the STIG unboxing Magic Knight Rayearth Sega Game Gear, which Magic Knight Rayearth is an anime series, and the Game Gear is really cool. Makes me wish I actually had one. That's really cool looking. Next up is MarlinLee's Clowns on the Commodore 64, if you've never seen that. Next one, Steve Benway's Mad Professor Mariarty, I know I'm going to pronounce it wrong, Mariarty on the Acorn Archimedes. And Narox's Driving Hawaiian Random Bits number 4. He's finally getting back to good old driving. And he features the music from Space Megaforce from the Super Nintendo. If you've never seen that, really cool video like always. Next up, OldSchoolNYCGamer's Tomy Torpedo Terror handheld game from 1982, if you've never seen that handheld. And next one is from WorthyourUniverseHD, contest time, Pinball FX, Mars table. The contest ends on 4/30 or March 30th. Basically, he's getting close to 400 subscribers and giving away, I believe, said 3 codes to this. And if you're interested, check it out and see what you have to do to enter the contest. Next up is Mamecade 36, Kroll the movie, Mame Arcade, Atari 2600 game. Now I remember this movie when it came out in the early 80s, and I did not realize there was ever an Atari 2600 game for it. Next up, Freak Indie, SimCity educational version, unboxing and overview. If you're interested in checking that out. Next up is Equilibrium Gaming's The Gaming YouTube Experience number 5, retrospective views on emulation. It's funny, when Equilibrium Gaming a long time ago sent me a message saying he was going to do a talking series, and I don't like it. Well, he said it, I inspired him or somehow, which really, it's more credit to him for doing it than me. But he's really, honestly, he's done a really good job with the series. Really great job. I really can't recommend enough how well done they really are, and the topics he talked about. Actually, I watch his and go, man, I don't think my videos are so great compared to his, quite honestly, the way he talks, but he goes over a lot of cool things in the community, so check that out. Next, Ask a Capers contest entry video, Video Game Voters Network, and E3 update soon. He's hoping to go to E3, and if you want more information about that, because he wants to talk about mapping in games, and he does think some people he did talk to, game developers, about it, because he's a paraplegic, and mapping is a big deal for him. Actually, I don't understand why mapping is not in every game for everybody, to be more, whatever way is more convenient for you. That's one of the things that holds off, I I think a lot of ways people who don't play games all the time from enjoying it is that they're not allowed to map the buttons to what they're more comfortable with. Next up is Turnabout ENT. Mike Maverick is back, bitches. Even though I don't like the word bitches, but in this video he tells you that first of all, it's a real great, actually a great promo video for anybody who's never seen a promo video of what he's going to be doing when he comes back and the date he's going to be returning. Next up is Benway Ski Vids. This is a really cool video sent to me by, of course, mp4podcast.com. Ben's proposal, Borderlands style, where you know the little robot that helps you in the Borderlands, where he does that. He makes a video of him and that interacting, plays the video with a bunch of his friends and his girlfriend at the time, and basically proposes to her with that playing. It's really cool. Ought to check it out. Really cool, really funny how the whole thing goes. A great, just regular moment, life moment. Next up, The Miz has a challenge. I can push buttons faster than you. And his message was, I posted a video recently displaying my amazing ability to press a button with unbelievable speed. I have a lot of video response automatically that I would like to see who else can press faster. So if you're up to the challenge, watch the video. And last but not least, the guy who games won, Gaming Shoutouts number 4, LP edition, where he shouts out people who do Let's Plays. So that's all for now. Next show, the one thing I'm going to be working on this week is ODU272K had answered a YouTube Gaming Community number 60, sent me a message a while ago that actually got buried. So I'll be adding that to my checkout channel list along with updating that, and we will have another fun game memory topic for next time. So see you for 78.